Calling the Bristol 2-meter net. Calling the Bristol 2-meter net. This is N4NT. My name is Adam, and I will be the net control station for this session. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? The Bristol 2-meter net meets each Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the 146.67 repeater. This net is affiliated with the Amateur Radio Emergency Service, the National Traffic System, and the Bristol Amateur Radio Club. All amateurs are welcome to check into the net. Are there any announcements or bulletins for the net? Okay, I'll have just a quick announcement, a couple announcements. One being just a reminder of the monthly meeting, the first Thursday in May. We will have that on the air again due to the restrictions from the coronavirus, and we'll meet on the air and also have a net logger session and broadcast live on YouTube. Just a reminder of that. Also a reminder to each one, if you haven't already done so, please check your email. And if you're on our mailing list for a new email address that we're trying to get established for the club, that way it can be passed on from one club officer to the next and that kind of thing, and use the same account. As of today, I've had 60 responses, so I'd say we've got a majority of them. But if you haven't responded, please do so. Or is there any formal or informal traffic? Okay, we'll now begin taking check-ins from any mobiles or portables. Mobiles or portables, please call.
Kilo Oscar 4, Tango Oscar Mike, Tom out of Bristol.
KT4SQ, Dale in Bristol.
Okay, we got KO4TOM, Tom, and KT4SQ, Dale. I think we had a double there. Did we miss anybody? Okay, we'll go back and pick these up. We'll start with Tom, KO4TOM. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. I'm sort of happy that this weekend I was on this little HT and I was able to reach the Grayson County repeater from the house here in Bristol, like 21 miles away, and seemed to be able to talk pretty clearly to a couple of my friends over there. So I was really pleased with that. I wasn't expecting to be able to reach that repeater at all.
Okay, well, good deal. It's good to get you were able to reach out and make that contact, and also that you've got some friends over there that put you in contact with. That's one of the great things about the hobby. All right, up next we had Dale, KT4SQ. Good evening, Dale.
Good evening, Adam, and all on that. Just, well, it's a report for personal report that even though I'm just operating with the in 60 watts or whatever it is I get out, I'm still being heard in Australia on 21 megahertz at certain times. So it's just kind of glad I can hear, but my noise level locally is so bad that I can't hear them. And so that's kind of the report. Thank you very much. This is KT4SQ.
Okay, Dale, thanks for checking in and the report there. I had to work today, so I didn't make it onto any of the HF bands so far. I may be on after the net, but we'll see. Depends on how I hold up after getting up so early this morning. All right, that takes care of the mobiles and portables. We'll now take check-ins from any stations. Any stations, please call now.
WE4AWJ, Emmett and Bristol.
4 BGV, Jim, Churchill.
Oscar 4, Charlie, Juliet, Sierra, Steve, and Blessing.
November 4, Kilo, Zulu, Sugar, Gary, and Piney Flats.
November 4, X-Ray Romeo Delta, Ralph and Chilhowie.
Kilo, Delta 4, Whiskey Mike X-Ray, Cannon Quiet, Lodi, KD4 WMX.
Net Control, please check in. KD4 CCO, Dallas, Bristol.
All right, we picked up WE4AWJ Emmett, K4BGV Jim, KO4 CJS Steve, N4KZS Gary, N4XRD Ralph, KD4WMX Ken, and KD4CCO Dallas. Are there any other stations that would like to check in?
K4HQ.
KF4FHY, Kevin in Bristol, in and out, please. Okay, picked up. Got you in and out. And then we'll take some more.
Well, I got a key up. Are you still there, Emmett?
Still here. People were switching it to the digital mode. Good evening, Adam. This is WE4AWJ and everybody listening. Not too much report here, just doing what everybody else is doing, staying in, mowing yards, and working a little bit of HF, but there's very little of it. I think Dale was doing better than I am because I don't hear anything worth working. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good week and take care. Turn it back to Net Control. This is WE4AWJ.
Okay, Emmett, sorry about that. Yeah, I usually I try to switch it out of AMS and switch it to FM only and digital only when I do the digital net, and I forgot to do that, so I may have went out on digital and not realized it. But thanks for checking in. I hope you're having a good evening there. Up next we have the Big Green Varmint, K4BGV. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Adam, and everyone else on the net tonight. This is K4BGV. The handle is Jim, Japan India Mike. We're QTH is Churchill, Tennessee, and hearing everyone pretty good. I had noise come in there a few minutes ago. I guess that's where you went to digital or something. But boy, it was loud there for a minute. Anyway, not much going on here. Don't have a whole lot to say. Been checking into the Tennessee net of an evening, 7:30. Anybody who'd like to check in, of course, I'm sure they'd like to have you. And I've gotten back into that on 3980. So anyway, don't have much more to say. I think we're going to open up a few businesses here the first of the month. That'd be good. So we'll turn it back to Net Control, and appreciate you letting me get in from here. N4NT, and we'll say 73s to everyone on the net. This is Kilowatt 4, Big Green Varmint, back to Net Control.
All right, Jim. Thanks for checking in. Good to have you. Hadn't talked to you in a little while there. So definitely good to have you on the net. Up next we have KO4 CJS, Steve in Bluff City. Good evening.
Good evening out there, Adam, and thank you all for what you do. I can report from my travels that I've done working in medical facilities that there's a lot of construction on the road, so please everyone be careful and mindful about that. And a lot of people got a lot of things on their minds, so that can also contribute to that. I was able to put up a new tri-band antenna, and that's what I'm on here. It's the first time I got to check into our own net here since I took my test a couple of months ago, and I've really been enjoying the activity, and it's really good to connect the people and to really band together. No pun intended. 73s to everybody, and hope you all have a good, safe week, and back to net control.
All right, appreciate you checking in with us tonight, and good to hear you on the net. Glad to hear that antenna's working out for you. And before I go to the next check-in, I'll just throw out a quick request or what have you. For the club newsletter, if anybody has any articles they would like to submit to be included in the club newsletter, we certainly encourage and invite that. You can send them to me directly at my email address, which is GetOnQRZ, or if you've received the new club email address, if you send it to that, I'll get it either way. We've had some submissions over the past few months. W4JH Jack Hyder had submitted some good information on the first ham in Bristol and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you've got anything you'd like to write up, a page or two or what have you, about any amateur radio related topic, we'd certainly like to have that included in the newsletter. So just keep us in mind there. All right, up next we have N4KZS. Good evening, Gary.
Doing okay down this way. About to go stir crazy, but I do thank the good Lord for amateur radio as a hobby. Kind of helps me get a change of scenery from the house and come out here and fool with stuff and operate a little bit, operate a little FT8. Had some flood waters last week and come through the shack again. Lost a computer, but I was able to salvage a 2 gigabyte hard drive out of it and the power supply. But I had another one on standby, ready to go online, so I about got it. Had a little problem with NetLogger last night when I was on the friendly bunch as a controller. I think it was because I had 2 files in that app data location, or that file sets for it to fill out automatically from the call number. But I removed one, tried it, and it worked good, so hopefully that fixed it. Anyway, just say 73s to all, God bless, and everybody stay safe. N4KZS, back to net.
Okay, Gary, thanks for checking in. Yeah, sorry to hear about that on the computer. I remember you mentioned that the other night on the friendly bunch and everything, and yeah, that file, every time you upload it, it just it doesn't replace the old file. It puts in another one, so you have to pick the latest or delete an old one, that kind of thing. But sounds like you got it going there. I think we're on the verge of getting that set up to where you can just download it directly from NetLogger and not have to worry about doing all that downloading files and putting them in different places. But there's another fellow there that's we've been kind of working on that and trying to test it out. So I want to mess around with that a little bit later and see how it goes. All right, up next we have Ralph, N4XRD. Good evening, Ralph.
Good evening, Adam. N4NT in the net. N4XRD, Ralph up here in Chilhowie. You know, I've been a ham just a little over 2 years now, and it's not in my wildest imagination did I think 3 years ago that I'd be able to just sit here in my basement and talk to a repeater in Bristol. It just never occurred to me that that is something that could happen. So it's still real fascinating to me, and it's nice to know some of the people on the net there, and look forward to coming down that way to some of your meetings and meeting some of the fine ham people, because I just really haven't met any hams that I just didn't really like. So anyway, future's bright. We'll be back to get together, and I hope it's real soon. And for XRD, back to you, Adam.
Okay, Ralph. Well, we're glad that you're making it into the Bristol repeater and able to check in with us here on the analog side there. And you just haven't run into that one guy yet. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, up next we have the first of two Kens tonight. KD4WMX. Good evening.
Well, good evening, Adam. And I'm the first Ken this time. Okay. But not much to report here. Just wanted to check in and say 73 to everybody. And hopefully they're going to start opening up businesses again. So just have to keep distance in mind. But maybe we'll get some business back open. That'd be good. But also I want to give a shout out to KO4TOM. He did mention that he was hitting a 443 cam force repeater on analog quite well as well. Had a good QSO with him. But with that, I'll say 73. Turn it back to net control, and for NT, this is KD4 WMX saying 73 and clear.
All right, Ken. Thanks for checking in, and hope to hear you on the Fusion net here shortly. All right, up next we have KD4CCO. Good evening, Dallas.
Good evening, everybody. Good to hear you down here over here on Island Road tonight. It's been a fairly nice day. Started out a little wet, but it's dried out pretty soon. But that wind has been ferocious this afternoon. Fortunately, I haven't had any trees come down, but I'm sure that there have been some tree limbs fall from all this activity. Well, not much going on over here. Let's see. I was going to look at the temperature is 53 degrees, so that's a little bit warmer than it has been. I don't think it's going to be quite as cold tonight as it has been, so that's a good thing. So, one other thing. Adam was talking about the having our meetings on the air. Well, we tried do the on the air last week and use Zoom on the computer so we could see each other and talk to each other as well, and it worked out fairly well. We didn't have all that many check-ins, but everybody that checked in was good. Good audio, good video, and so forth. So that's something that we'll continue to do as long as we can't have an actual meeting, face-to-face meeting. So back to net control. This is KD4 CCO.
Okay, Dallas. Yeah, I ended up having to work over that night and missed the meeting, but I had every intention of being on there. And yeah, there's a group that I belong to. It's a amateur radio group that's pretty much strictly like an internet radio group called Friends of Amateur Radio group, and that's they have a similar app that they use, and that's pretty much how they always conduct their meetings, because it's everybody's scattered out everywhere. So yeah, it might be something to look into and see if we can set that up for our group, and, still have the on-the-air option in case somebody can't do that or something. All right, up next we have the second of our Kens tonight, K4HQ. Good evening, Ken.
Well, good evening, Adam. N4NT in the group. K4HQ. Not much going on here except work and eat and sleep. The only thing different is on a different work schedule. They got me going in, clocking in at 6:30 and get off at 4. Get home whenever the van shows up. So that's the only thing different. Hopefully this schedule won't last long. 6:30 to 4 Monday through Thursday, and then half a day on Friday. Still get my 40 hours, but I don't know why they just didn't break it down to 4 10-hour days. I would have preferred that, but that's just me. But anyway, got different antenna up now using a Ringo Ranger on top of the tin can now, so seems to be performing a little bit better than the other antenna I had up for a couple of years. And I won't make the digital net because I'm going to go get me some shut-eye so I can get up and do the whole show over tomorrow. So we'll see you later, Adam. Take care and talk to you soon. N4NT in the net, K4HQ clear.
Okay, Ken, thanks for checking in, and yeah, we definitely understand that, having to crawl out of bed early in the morning there. So you have a good night, and we'll catch you later. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the check-in list. Was there any other stations that would like to check in? Please call now.
You never know where you're going to find Tommy at.
Okay, does anyone have anything else for the net before we close? All right, if all minds are clear, we had a total number of 12 check-ins tonight, counting net control. Thanks to each one of you for taking the time to check into the net. Please join us if you have fusion capability for the Tri-Cities Mountain Empire Fusion net at 9:30. If you don't have fusion capability and you'd like to check this net out, it will be broadcast live on the Bristol Amateur Radio Club's YouTube channel. So join us there if you'd like, and we do try to monitor the comments that you type in and take proxy check-ins and all that kind of good stuff. This is N4NT closing the Bristol 2-meter net at 9:23 p.m. and returning the W4UD repeater back to normal amateur use. 7-3 and good night.